Hello students, our lesson today is about logarithms. So I pose the question of why you should bother mastering logarithms. Well, for one reason, they're fun. There's a really interesting algebra involved in logarithms. It's got its own world of how the math actually works. It's really neat and interesting. On top of that, there's lots of practical applications for logarithms in biology and natural sciences, computer science, data science, statistics, engineering. All these fields, you use logarithms in the workplace. So we're going to talk about it. We're actually going to talk about how they're used and what makes them useful. But we're going to first talk about how to actually work with logarithms in Algebra 2. So let's start there. Here's one of the practical applications for logarithms. If you choose a major, maybe data science or data analytics and so forth. Here's one example of using logs to transform linear regression models and so forth. So this is a person, he's talking a bit about logs. He creates his code in Python and he looks at some data. And the data is very skewed. It looks like a lot of data is here and it's talking about home prices. And there's not really much you can say about it because they're all in one place. However, by taking a log of all the data and he creates a new Python code, he gets the data a little bit more uniform and more bell-shaped. And he can make distinctions from doing things that he couldn't have made distinctions from before because logarithms have these kind of properties. So he can talk more sophisticated about the data he's trying to present to a group of people. Here's another example where he has some data that it's kind of hard to figure out what the pattern is. These things are way off each other. Some may have these dots, may have some characteristics for these guys, but it's hard to really tell with the pattern you have. So by taking a log of all the data and writing a new code, he can see all those dots actually do fall in more of a pattern that you may speak of, or maybe not a pattern whatsoever. So logs are used in the real world for lots of different things. So that's our intro of why we actually learn logs and why it's useful, other than the fact that it's really fun to do. Now, let's get to the business of learning about logs.